Okay, so I remembered to do a note card this time to keep the thought train on track. Yeah. So, firstly, yeah, I dyed my hair blue. It's a look. I'm loving it. I feel like I need to touch it up a bit, but yeah, that's fun update number one. Secondly, I want to talk about quasi-recovery because I feel like that's where I'm at right now in my recovery process. I recognize the fact that I am way too comfortable now. Initially, it was very hard to go to eating 3 meals a day and snacks. And then I eventually did get used to it, and which is wonderful, which is great, and I'm proud of myself for getting to that point because that is a huge point to be at with recovery. But I'm at a point now though where I'm no longer challenging myself, and the rare occasion that I do try to challenge myself, I slip up. I majorly slip up afterwards, regrettably so. And yeah, I'm working on making that better, but I am only human. Everyone recovers differently, and you don't have to be perfect with your recovery. Like, that is the whole point of recovery, is you're coming out of that perfectionist type mentality. And if you're comparing your recovery to someone else's recovery, that's not recovery. That's like, there's like no perfect recovery. And I'm trying to remind myself that, be kind to myself, love myself. You know, if I slip up, it's always like, you know what, you just, this isn't the end of the line. This doesn't mean you're relapsing. This is just a part of recovery. You slip up, you learn from your mistakes, and you push through. And yeah, so I'm hopefully going to be challenging myself tomorrow on Easter, because it's Easter Eve day, and I'm really nervous about it because I'm still so strict and holding on to so many food rules, like so many foods, even at like this point of recovery, like I'm afraid to eat. Like, I'm like slowly incorporating different things. I started using oil again in my food. I still like can't go out to eat and stuff like that. Like, I like have to eat my food and like know what's in all of my food. But oh my gosh, my hair is like getting in my face. But I'm letting my mom, and this is like, the more I think about it, like the more I'm kind of like getting freaked out about it, but I'm gonna eat Easter dinner with my family, and I'm letting my mom portion everything out for me, which is huge for me, because all I really eat is literally just like oatmeal, salad, different varieties of salad, omelets. I'm getting back on eating like sandwiches. Big thing for me. I'm like granted, it's like a specific type of bread that I'm allowing myself like to eat, like the sprouted seed, sprout Ezekiel bread stuff. Like, I'm just very keen on, like, this is like what's helping me, which is great. I'm like looking at food as in what, like, the nutrients that's providing me. Like, that's how I'm viewing food now. It's like, okay, if I eat this, it's giving me like the nutrients I need for this and this. It's doing this to benefit my body, etc. But that's all I'm allowing myself to eat, is foods that I can see is like nutritious, but I won't branch out. So yeah, like, you know, I went from being like, you know, in this little circle of what I eat to being in like this circle of what I eat, when really it's like a circle of that much bigger of what I should be eating. And I'm not there yet, but we're gonna get there. And then lastly, in this little short video, I want to talk about how my eating disorder has affected my relationships, friendships, all of that jazz, because just like a lot of things have and are coming to an end around me right now. Granted, a lot of my friendships have become stronger through this. I'm like realizing people, especially people who have been in my life a lot shorter than people who have been in my life longer, are handling and like helping me and being there for me, which is so wonderful. But yeah, a lot of like my I have like a few like long-term friends who, after they found out about everything, kind of just stopped talking to me. They just don't know how to be in my life and help me other than just saying, you need to eat more, you need to gain weight, whatever. And yeah, which, you know, it happens. I was expecting that. And, you know, when things get difficult and not everyone sticks around to help you out through it. But, you know, it's just a way to show you, like, the genuine people in your life. So that's how I'm seeing it. And then also, here's like a funny little, not so funny little story time. Like in January, I went out just once with this guy. It's gonna be clear why it was just once in a second. So it was just like one date. We didn't even go out to eat or anything. We just like walked around this park. And he was making he just like kept like making comments about my weight, and then finally he said, "You're just like one of those girls that doesn't eat anything, aren't you?" And I'm kind of just sitting there like, yeah, no. And just like that just like stuck with me really poorly, because I was kind of just like, what type of guy would say that? Like, that's not something like normal guys would complain about. Just like I wasn't like starving myself so like guys would like me. Like, that wasn't like my main intention, but it was like something I always figured, like, boys will like me if I like, you know, starve myself. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And this guy just kind of like made me realize I'm not good enough for him even at this point. Okay, yeah, this is editing, Kaylee, and yeah, I kind of worded that all weird. So in retrospect, now I'm able to see it. Okay, so at that time in my life, I was like, I don't know, I just kind of assumed like that's like, I didn't assume that's like what all guys wanted, but I like felt like, you know, that's like what kind of like expectations were. So just to have like someone just like judge me and criticize me for it, I was just like, this isn't, that is no, like, this is weird. Why is this happening? And because I'd been used to like people like closer, like people more closer to me, who had known me longer, who've like seen me through everything, being like, you're not good. And then to have like this guy who like has never met me before be like, yo, you're like too skinny. And that's just like didn't really mesh well in my head. And after I just like 3 months later, after I started publicly talking about like my eating disorder, like we hadn't talked in 3 months, then he unfollowed me on all social media. I was like, it was just like the weirdest thing. And yeah, I just don't know how I feel about it. It was just like so weird. Yeah. But yeah, so there's something you could hopefully learn something from. Like, boys, no. But yeah, so I'm planning on filming my challenge tomorrow and posting it. And I'm really stressed out because I don't want to screw up. But I'm going to post this before so I can be accountable to that promise to myself that my mom's going to portion my food for me. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of this. yeah, have a good night.